Hey guys, what's going on? It's CruZzAve here and I welcome each and every one of you to a brand new tutorial video for the guide on FIFA 19, and today we are bringing you the long-awaited chance creation video on through balls, and I'm very excited to get this video out there. So I think it turned out quite well. If any questions are remaining, guys, then as always feel free to drop them in the comment section down below and I will do my best to answer most of them. And yeah, with that said, without further ado, let's get right into it. So first off, let's get the basics out of the way. Of course, the passing basics are crucial for through balls as well. We've done a video on them, so definitely go check that out if you haven't seen it yet. Also, check out our video on ball contacts. I will get into detail about these concepts while analyzing the gameplay scenes, but ball contacts once again crucial, so check out our concept video on that one. And physical momentum is also a very important concept here, and we will do a dedicated video on that one as well, so check the description if it's already released. Let's talk about the key factors now, and this is the really crucial part of the video. First off, if you want to play a through ball, you need to have an offensive player making a promising run. So you have to get a feeling for when your strikers are making runs and when they are actually pushing through with those. Because for example, in this scene right here, I see my striker Mbappe is making a run, but then he's not continuing it, he's stopping, and I still play the through ball. So that's why in the end the opponent is getting an easy interception. So you have to be sure that your striker is actually making a run, and sometimes it's better to wait these 1 or 2 extra seconds to be sure that actually your striker will continue running forward and not stop and lead to a loss of possession if you play the pass. In this scene, on the other hand, Mbappe is making a very good run. I see his explosive start, how he's turning around and quickly catching up to the defensive line, and I know if I play the through ball here, it's most likely that he will continue the run because he has lots of space in front of him, and the AI will recognize that and will push through here, and I can play the through ball, and if I get to the ball, then I will definitely have a dangerous chance here. Next up, the defender's positioning and movement is very important, guys, and I see a lot of people making mistakes here in my private coachings as well. They see their strikers making a run, but they are not watching the defenders. They are not doing the next step, which is looking at the defensive player and how he is covering the run, if he's covering the run, and how he's positioned himself. Here my striker is making a run once again, and I decide to play the through ball, but I didn't account for the center back in this situation. And even though he's not actively selected, if you see your opponent selecting his center back or his wing backs and actively covering the run, then you might as well already forget about the idea of playing a through ball, because the opponent already saw that you're planning on playing a through ball and manually covers it, so no need to give him the ball that cheaply. So here it's a bit different because the AI is covering the run, but still, if you look at Varane's movement, he's running backwards, he still has a bit of a gap to Mbappe, so he will most likely get to the ball first, and that's why in this situation it's not a good idea to play a through ball, because it's hard for Mbappe to get to the ball first. Here we have a much different scene. Neymar is on the wing and is trying to get in behind the defensive line, and neither the opponent nor the AI defense is covering that run, and you can really see how Taz is taking his time to evaluate the situation and is waiting for Neymar not only to be in the perfect position, which is when he's almost crossing that offside line, but also he's making sure that the opponent is not switching back to the wing back to cover the run, or that the AI is covering it by itself. And you can see in the last moment it's very obvious that Neymar will continue the run here and that there's no defender who's actively defending it, and that's why he can play a long through ball here and eventually even scores the goal from this situation. So in the end, if you want to get good with playing through balls, then it comes down to evaluating the situation correctly and also waiting for the right timing. In some situations you just can't play the through ball because the opponent saw it and he's covering the run, or the AI is just too good in that specific situation. So sometimes it's better to just turn around, keep the ball possession and wait for a better opportunity. With that said, there is a lot of skill in the timing that you play your through balls, and you can maximize the outcomes from playing them if you learn how to have a good timing. What you have to keep in mind is that you want your striker to reach the ball first. There's space, there's a run, and you need to have your striker get to the ball first in order to create a chance. If the defender reaches the ball first, that will result in a loss of ball possession. So there are basically three types of situations when you will be able to reach that goal successfully. The first one being the easiest, when your striker is already ahead of his defender who's covering the run. Then it's a very easy decision to play the through ball, as in this example here. The inner center back is far out of position and Neymar is having a lot of space in the middle, and the outer center back in this example won't be able to catch up because he has a longer way towards the ball. So it's a very easy decision to play the through ball here, even though in the end I have to go around the center back once again a little bit. I am able to finish with a goal. The second one is when both the striker and the defender are at the same level, as in this example here. The opponent is realizing very well that I'm a tiny bit out of position with Smalling, because even though I'm still on the same height with Figo, he has the tempo advantage, and most of the times that will be the case with your striker against their defender. So that's why the opponent plays the through ball here, and you can see that just this tiny tempo advantage is already enough, and the opponent is through on goal, and then in the end is also very calm and scores the goal. And now comes the very important part about the timing. In this example here, you can see that I'm getting the ball in the center with Mkhitaryan and Lacazette is making the run. The opponent sees that, I mean it's my only striker, it's quite obvious, and that's why he's covering the run. And I see a lot of players just playing the ball too early here while the opponent is covering it, and while there's still a gap between your striker and the defensive line, and then it will be very hard for your striker to cover that gap. If the opponent is defending it also and running backwards, then it's almost impossible. We will get to that in a second, and that's why I'm waiting until I play the through ball and I see that the opponent is covering the pass, and then in the end he's not covering it anymore, and Lacazette is able to catch up and get to the same level as the defender, and that's the exact timing when he's at the offside line when I'm playing the through ball, and that's why it can go through the gap and Lacazette is able to go around the defender and get to the ball first, and then I'm able to score a goal here. And that's the crucial part about the timing. You have to watch the run of your striker, the defensive behavior of your opponent, and then when those two come together in a good timing for you that you can play the through ball on the same height of the two players, then you're able to create chances from this technique. The third situation where you can play a through ball and it has a good timing is the most trickiest one, because it's about physical momentum. Here that concept comes into play because you need to have a tempo advantage with your striker in the certain moment when you play the through ball. So your striker is still behind the defender, there's still a gap, so in theory the defender has the advantage because he has a shorter way to the spot where the ball will be played. But since your striker is already in full sprint and the defender is not, that's why you can play the through ball. If you watch this scene closely here, you can see that the opponent is selecting his center back and he's covering the short pass towards Neymar first, but since Neymar is accelerating and then already in full sprint almost a second later, and the opponent's defender is still using the L2 steps and is not sprinting backwards, even though that Neymar has like 2 or 3 meters of a gap still being behind the defender, I can still try and play the through ball here, because Sanchez first has to accelerate. He has to get his physical momentum from running to the right, or moving to the right at least, towards running to the left to cover the ball. And that's why I decide to play the pass here. And you can see how close it gets in the end, because even though Neymar is faster than Sanchez and he already had the tempo advantage at the moment when I played the through ball, Sanchez still had this gap to his advantage. So it comes out in a one-on-one situation where I use L2 to kind of protect the ball and work a bit against Sanchez, and maybe the opponent underestimated what I was able to do here by using that button. So I can definitely recommend it to you guys as well if you have these running duels. There will be a specific video on our channel about running duels as well. And yeah, so I'm able to get to the ball first and then have an easy pass to Nedved and I can score the goal. Something I want to emphasize here is that you should always try to have close ball contacts when you wait for the right timing. Because if you're sprinting with the player that is supposed to play the pass, it's very easy to miss the right timing and to have your striker crossing the offside line in the moment where you don't have a ball contact to play the pass, and then the moment you reach the ball and your player is actually performing the pass, then your striker will already be in offside. So keep in mind that the more ball contacts you have in a short amount of time, the higher the chance that you will be able to play the pass with the perfect timing. And here we have another good one which showcases that sometimes patience can be key when it comes to playing through passes. In the beginning, the opponent is covering the pass almost perfectly. He is in the right position with his center back. So what I'm doing is I'm waiting. I'm not playing the through pass because it wouldn't have any sense. He would intercept it almost every time. So I'm kind of going for a finesse into the far post instead, and I get my opponent to cover that more instead of the run. And then I see, alright, Mkhitaryan is making a very nice run here. He's crossing the center back, and that's why I see that there now is a timing to play a through ball and to have Mkhitaryan get to the ball without being contested at all, and I'm able to score the goal in a one-on-one with the goalkeeper. So just keep in mind that you don't have to play the pass in the first moment possible. You can wait for a few seconds, especially if your opponent is covering passes, then he won't aggressively attack your ball holder, and you really have all the time in the world to evaluate your options and then choose the right moment and the right player to play the pass to, and you will have a lot more success. For the pro tip, I just wanted to give you advice on how you can actually force runs of your offensive players, because I see some players saying that their strikers are never making runs. It could have to do something with your tactics, but besides that you can also use the L1 or LB button to make your strikers do some runs. You just press the button while you're in ball possession. You don't have to play a pass. It's not about 1-2 passes here. It's just about pressing L1 or LB while you're in control of the ball. And you will see that the player that you're facing towards in that moment will start to make a run. You can press the button more than once and maybe a few of your players will start to make runs. And yeah, so you can force some runs of your wingers or strikers in the center if you want to get to have more chances to play through balls. That's it for this video, guys. I hope it was helpful to you. If that's the case, please leave a like. That would be much appreciated. And also, if you're interested, check out our private coaching by elite and top 100 players. Info card in the top right corner or link in the description down below. That's it for today, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss any other videos. I'll better talk to you in the next one. See you then. Much love. Peace.